In May of 1993, I was really into John Hughes movies, and I was a senior in high school. And I went to a party at my brother's apartment, and there was a guy who looked exactly like Eric Stoltz. So I was done. I was just done. And he was sort of interested in me. And that was a little overwhelming because no one was ever interested in me, at least not the people that I was interested in. And my brother was like, yeah, don't go there. And my brother's best friend was like, Jamie, really, don't go there. And so I went there, right? And all night there was just this like casual flirtation going on with this redhead who looked like Eric Stoltz and was named Jason. And at the end of the night, he asked for my number. And my brother was like, Jamie, don't. My brother's best friend was like, Jamie, don't. And I did. I gave Jason my number, fully expecting him never to call. Like, it was not even a thing. And the next day, I had a double shift at the ice cream parlor where I worked. And I had my own line at home. This is like pre-cell phones. And I had an answering machine, like not even voicemail. And so on my way out the door that morning, I changed my outgoing message on my answering machine to say, hi, it's Jamie. I have a double at Scoops today. So if you have my number there, call me. Or come by if you want ice cream. And if this is Jason, I am thoroughly impressed. And then I went to work. And then, like you did in the 90s, every so often I would call my answering machine from the store phone. And there was no message, and there was no message. And then a couple hours later, there was no message. And then there was a message. And I was like, oh, I wonder who called today. Everybody knows I'm here. And the message said, hi, this is Jason, so I guess you're thoroughly impressed? And I was. And Jason and I were together for the summer of 1993. It was an incredibly tumultuous relationship. We came from very different backgrounds. We had nothing in common, but there was something going on that I think maybe only happens with summer love. It like made no sense, and yet I could not live without it. So we, did all the things, and it was the first time I did all the things, and it was really awesome. And we fought a lot, and he cheated on me, and I still couldn't quit him. And he couldn't quit me. I think we both sort of knew it was best if we weren't together, but there was like no way that was actually gonna happen. Until August, we had this really big fight, and I was like, listen, I am not gonna spend my last 2 weeks in Pittsburgh fighting with you, so I think we're done. And he looked at me and said, you're not transferring back to Pittsburgh after a semester? I was like, I'm sorry, did you think I was transferring back to Pittsburgh after a semester? Because I'm going to college and I got a scholarship and I'm getting my degree and I'm gonna be all the things. So that was sort of the end of it, except for the fact that it took us 2 years to break up. So we were together for 3 months and like breaking up for 2 years. Also very intense, also lots of cheating on everyone's part, which was fine because we weren't together except for the girls that he was cheating on with me, which I found out about and felt really badly about. 29 years later, last summer, I found out that Jason had cancer. We'd not been in touch in a really long time. My brother and his best friend actually kept it that way on purpose. I think they knew that if we ever got back in touch, it could be bad for all involved. And so like there was a fire in his house maybe 10 years ago. And I was like, there was a GoFundMe and I was contributing to the GoFundMe. And I was like, guys, like tell him, like, here's my number. Like if he needs anything, have him call me. And he never called. And so I thought that just meant he didn't want to be in touch. And I wanted to respect that. No, it turns out no one had ever given him my number or told him to call me. It's fine. But when he had cancer, I got back in touch, and we actually got really close really quickly, as everyone sort of predicted we would. And a year ago next week, he died. And at his funeral, I met his two sons, and I've become intensely involved in their lives. They are amazing kids, who my own kids refer to as my other sons. And I think Jason and I were never meant to be together, but I also think Jason and I were meant to be together.